I'm Mark and welcome to another lesson with Master Everyday English. In today's lesson, we're at the airport and we're checking in, but we're focusing today on those words that you might hear but not understand. Very often these words are phrasal verbs. So in today's lesson, we're going to focus on some of the common phrasal verbs that you'll hear when you go to check in at the airport. Let's get started. To drop off. And this can be a person or this can be your bags. This means to leave a person or a thing in a particular place. We dropped John off at the airport. We dropped our luggage off and walked to the gate. So here's a useful thing to know. With phrasal verbs are verbs. Normally the phrasal verb is formed with a verb and then it has a particle or a preposition. You'll also see phrasal verbs as other parts of speech. So for example, you might see a phrasal verb that looks like a noun or a phrasal verb that looks like an adjective. For example, if you're using the phrasal verb as a verb, you might say, I dropped off my bags. Drop off, the verb. But if we used it as a noun, it might be the drop off is next to the check-in. Or it might be an adjective. The drop off point is next to the check-in. You'll see the phrasal verb in different forms. Nouns, adjectives. To check in, your bags or a person. And this means to inform an official that you've arrived. In this case, that you have arrived in the airport for your flight. We checked in early to avoid the crowds. How many bags are you checking in? Fill out. For example, to fill out your information online. To fill something out often means to complete a form with your personal information. For example, we filled out the form online. Hand over. To hand over normally means to give something official, like your documents or your paperwork, to another person. Can you hand over your passport, please? To carry on. This is a good example of a phrasal verb that is more often used as a noun or an adjective. It means to continue to carry something with you. In this case, to continue to carry your bags with you onto the flight. How many carry-on bags do you have? Are those bags to carry on? To hand something back. This means to return something. He handed me back my passport. Go through. This means to enter into an area, and in this case, in the airport, to enter into an area where your bags will be scanned. You can go through the security checkpoint. Your bags will go through the X-ray machine. Get in. This means to arrive. The flight gets in at 2:30. Now let's listen to a conversation. The conversation is at the check-in desk and it's between a passenger and one of the airline staff. Listen carefully for those phrasal verbs all connected to checking in.
Hi, are you checking in today?
Yes, sorry, the taxi dropped us off a little late. Is check-in still open?
Sure, I'll check you in right away. Did you fill out your boarding pass online?
Yeah, I did that earlier.
Perfect. If you could hand over your travel documents, we'll get you started.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's 2 checked bags and how many carry-ons?
Just the one carry-on.
Great. Okay, let me hand you your passport back. And you're all done. Make your way to Terminal 3, go through security, and head to Gate 39.
Okay, thanks. Do you know what time the flight gets in?
You arrive in Houston at 5:45.
Now listen to that conversation again, and I'll highlight where those phrasal verbs are in the conversation.
Hi, are you checking in today?
Yes, sorry, the taxi dropped us off a little late. Is check-in still open?
Sure, I'll check you in right away. Did you fill out your boarding pass online?
Yeah, I did that earlier.
Perfect. If you could hand over your travel documents, we'll get you started.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's 2 checked bags and how many carry-ons?
Just the one carry-on.
Okay, let me hand you your passport back. And you're all done. Make your way to Terminal 3, go through security, and head to gate 39.
Okay, thanks. Do you know what time the flight gets in?
You arrive in Houston at 5:45.
If you enjoy this video, please check out my channel. There are lots of other videos about life and work in the United States. You can also check out my website, mastereverydayenglish.com. There's a little bit of information there about me, and there's also some exercises and activities that you can download for free, all connected to checking in at the airport. Let's quickly review those phrasal verbs. Drop off, check in, fill out, hand over, carry on, hand back, go through, get in. Now let's do an activity together just to get some more practice with those phrasal verbs. You'll see a sentence on the screen. The phrasal verb is missing. So, from that list of verbs we studied today, think about the best verb to complete the sentence. Let's do an example together. The flight has been delayed. So now we at 6:30. What's the best phrasal verb to complete that sentence? Fill in? No. Hand over? No. Get in? Yeah, get in. Remember, get in means to arrive. So now we get in at 6:30. Now we arrive at 6:30. Look at the other sentences. My bag has to the scanner during the security check. My bag has to go through the scanner at the security check. My friend will at the airport tomorrow on his way to work. My friend will drop me off at the airport tomorrow on his way to work. The TSA officer takes the passport, checks the passport, and then the TSA officer takes the passport, checks the passport, and then hands the passport back. They made me another form with my name and address at the check-in desk. They made me fill out another form with my name and address at the check-in desk. And that's it for today. I hope this lesson is useful to you. If you struggle with those phrasal verbs, especially when you're traveling and you're at the airport. Don't forget, if you enjoy my videos, please go check out my channel, master everyday English. And also, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and click to subscribe.